What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful.com. This is August 17th, 2021. It is a very big week in WWE. We have SummerSlam and NXT Takeover 36. But you know what? Maybe you're not that into the SummerSlam card. It's okay. You can like what you like what you don't like. WrestleRumble.com is making it a lot more exciting for you. Their pick'em is taking place this Saturday for the big show. First place can win $1,000. Second place wins $100. Third place wins $100. This isn't just straightforward things like we're doing, like making the picks of who's going to win. You decide how long is this match going to last? How many finishers will somebody have to hit? How many jackhammers or spears will Goldberg have to hit? Will there be interference? Will somebody return? It's so much fun. It adds a lot of stakes to your viewing experience, so to speak. So make sure you check out WrestleRumble.com and their SummerSlam Pick'em. But it doesn't end there. If you like those beautiful title belts, especially those old school ones, like, I don't know, the Winged Eagle belt, you can win the Winged Eagle belt collection for just $1. The first place winner wins replica white, black, and blue Winged Eagle belts. The second winner, yeah, indeed. The second winner wins mini versions of those. The mini white, mini black, and mini blue Winged Eagle belts. Quite a second prize. And if you think, oh, you know what? That couldn't possibly be me. One of our moderators, Hannah, won like 732 title belts from them. Was posing with them like she's Ultimo Dragon. It was unreal. And we've had viewers from Fightful win the Pick'em often. So make sure you guys check that out. But I am joined by the belated birthday boy, old Bobo DeFelice. Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Sean. Thank you for all the birthday love. It's SummerSlam, and it's the first time it's on a Saturday. That's throwing me off a little bit, but it's a big week, and this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is definitely a different type of thing. This is a different type of a way different process than we're used to doing. I kind of like the Saturday pay-per-view idea, though. What do you think?
I think if everybody does Saturday pay-per-views, which would give us Sunday to rest, I like that idea. But it's also, if you're going to do NXT should go first. I still think it should be the lead into the main roster, especially with all the rumors and stuff going on now. NXT should always be the lead in.
I tell you what, I haven't gotten that email about the Triple H media call this week, and I would be shocked if it happened at this point. Yeah. I'd be very surprised. But if it does happen, we will have it. Also today, dropping a Jonathan Gresham interview. Make sure you guys check that out. If you're not a Ring of Honor viewer, buddy, you wanna know Jonathan Gresham. But we're gonna talk about SummerSlam 2021 first, and the highly anticipated match, Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss. Who do you got here?
I was not working last night when this match was made, and my first reaction was, this is the one they're going to run with at the pay-per-view, not, an IC title match or something like that. But people love Bliss, and they love this storyline. It may not be for everybody, but it's definitely for some. I think Bliss has to win.
I think so too. I don't think they could possibly put Eva Marie over here, but yeah, let's hope that's the case. And to me, it feels just kind of dirty because of Bray Wyatt getting fired, knowing that the gimmick just got passed off. It just feels a little bit gross to me. Well, it does not feel gross to me that Edge is finally facing Seth Rollins. I am very excited for this. This is a match that 7 years in the making without even realizing that it's something that we were going to be able to make. How do you see this one going?
First of all, this is the match that has sold me a ticket. I would watch this match if it was in front of nobody. I'd watch this match no matter what. These two guys are so good. The story has been so good. Edge has kept it consistent. It's about, I want to be champion. You want to be champion. You screwed me out of it. Now we're going to fight. This is a great story. Edge has to win. Edge hasn't won in front of people yet.
Oh my gosh, he really hasn't, has he?
That's crazy.
So I want to look at Edge's his recent matches, and let's see. He lost to Roman Reigns. He lost to the Bloodline on SmackDown. He lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Now, he beat Jey Uso and Randy Orton and won the Royal Rumble. That's a good way to kick off 2021. But at this point, I think after Mania, Money in the Bank, and even the SmackDown appearance, I agree. He's got to win. Even Backlash last year, he lost that, though, the greatest wrestling match ever. So I think he needs to pick up a win here. Seth Rollins is bulletproof. He is what he is, and he's always going to be that. So I think that Seth Rollins is taking this one. 2 years ago, Robert, I was in Toronto, and when he hit that spear, I went back to listen to the reaction. It's almost like there immediately wasn't one, because there were so many people in the crowd that were like, "What's going on?
What did I just see?
Did that just happen?" Because anybody that's watched that show, even if they don't read wrestling news, they kind of get the idea. A guy with broken neck cannot do that.
I remember where I was. It was Elias came out. I thought he was going to come out, kind of, promo on him, pop the crowd, and he said nothing and hit a spear, and you don't even have time to react. You just feel it in the moment, and it was so good. If this was 7 years ago, Rollins would need the win. Rollins is in a league of his own. He's already a bona fide Hall of Famer. Edge has to take it. I hope they run this back quick.
Guys, please leave a thumbs up on this video. It goes a long way. If you want to get your question or statement read on the air, donate to Super Chats, the little $ at the bottom of youtube.com/Fightful. We are also on, I think, multiple Twitter platforms right now. So slap that retweet. Anything like that really does help. AJ Styles and Omos against Randy Orton and Riddle. I think Riddle and Randy Orton win the titles here. I would carry this and make this Randy Orton's next year WrestleMania program when it eventually dissolves. How are you feeling about that?
I think RK Bro is one of the universally loved things on WWE television. AJ Styles is bulletproof. Again, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's just taking a victory lap at this point. Omos is in the ring with AJ, who can go, Riddle, who can go, and Randy Orton, who is one of the best at storytelling. This will do exactly what it needs to do. I think the power of friendship allows them to double RKO Omos, and that's how we get the first pinfall loss from the big man, and we see where they go from there.
Something I brought up on the Monday Night Raw post show with Denise. They actually get to practice this match at live events, Robert. Like, that's something that we haven't seen in a year and a half.
That's right. And you can play with different things that works, doesn't work. Maybe what works in, North Dakota might not work in Vegas. I think people are going to be all over RK Bro. And I definitely think Omos has to eat the pin here just because he's going to take at least that double RKO.
Nerd Guru says, I consider Seth Mr. SummerSlam 2019 was nuts. I was there for that. Yeah, that was very cool. Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. Veer and Shanky are banned from ringside, but I think Drew McIntyre is allowed to stab Jinder. Well, I'll tell you what, this is probably just going to continue regardless. This should have been a 6 to 7 week program about the history of the two, the fact that they banded together at their worst of times, then they both got fired, then they both came back in the best shapes of their life, that they both won the titles, and then when Drew reached his mountaintop, Jinder was gone. Jinder was just not there. And it could even be implied, Jinder put in a good word to get Drew back. They could play off of that. They could say that. They could be like, Jinder was at a point of influence, and he said, bring my friend back. But when Drew was at the top, Jinder wasn't on TV. I think they could have played off of that. They didn't. It's about a sword and a motorcycle, Robert. I think Jinder wins somehow.
Well, first of all, this should have been a WWE Championship match when Drew had the belt. I think that was the appeal. The appeal was seeing these two guys who were in 3MB getting to a level where they could fight for the championship. Now, Drew has very much cooled off. Jinder has had 3 years to cool off since his title reign. And this is about a sword and a life-size replica of their Wreckin' Slam Cycle toy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how we got here. I just know it's going to next month at Extreme Rules in a Punjabi prison. So I think Jinder has to win here.
I do too. I think this will continue, and they'll just keep doing it. And hopefully after this, they do play off that history. That's what I'm thinking. Bianca Belair defends against Sasha Banks, assuming that it happens. Who do you see winning this?
Sasha should win this because they need to run it back for a third. If I was booking it, I would have had Sasha come back early, do the Rolling Loud match, have that match at a big festival like Rolling Loud, and then do the rubber match here. I think the rubber match can happen in the Garden on September 10th, but I think Sasha wins here and gets a short title reign. Match should be absolutely off the chain. It was at WrestleMania. I see no reason, if it happens, that they can't run it back.
One of my favorite WrestleMania matches ever. I loved it. The story was great. Building up to the hair whip was great. I would love to see a callback to that hair whip. I'm with you. I think Sasha Banks should win here. WWE really did Bianca Belair a disservice by not having like a murderer's row of people ready for her right after. And as a result, you saw her face the same people over and over again. And that's why I never believe the wait till they're back on the road, wait till after WrestleMania, wait till the draft, wait till the shakeup, wait till they're on Fox, any of those excuses. Never believe it.
It works for a handful of talent. It's never going to work for the whole roster. And right now, Bianca and Sasha just weren't in that handful of talent.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Tremaine says, you know what's funny? The pay-per-view may be great regarding recent WWE history, bad booking, great matches. Hope you guys enjoy covering it, not watching. I'll be there in a press box live. I hope it is good. I really hope it's good. Sheamus taking on Damien Priest. This has got to be Damien Priest. It has to be Damien Priest. He has won almost every match that he's been a part of, and he's won every singles match he's been a part of. I think that you got to go with that momentum. You got to go with Damien Priest, and please keep him strong, because what they like to do, Robert, is when you become champion, then you start losing.
It's just the trend. I hope they keep him strong. I hope he wins here, first of all. I hope they're not, oh, well, you're expecting it, so we're going to swerve you, because they have a tendency with that too. I do want to commend Sheamus. He's having a great run, maybe one of the best bell-for-bell runs of his career, but Damien Priest has to win.
Yeah, it's less or so over the last 3 or 4 months, but before that, since the face injury or whatever, it's been lesser. But man, during that pandemic, those first like 12 months of it, that was some of the best in-ring work, if not the best, that I've ever seen Sheamus do. And he's had some really, really fantastic runs that people don't really give credit to. But I thought that was just some of the best work. Damien Priest is winning this, though.
Yeah.
Usos probably need to beat the Mysterios. I am over the Mysterios as an act. Dominic ain't doing it for me, man. He just is not doing it for me. I want to see the Mysterios win this. Or the Usos win this, sorry.
The kid got jitters when he had to start performing in front of people. I do not fault him for that.
Sure.
He was put in a very tough position, but he's definitely feeling the real jitters now of performing in front of a crowd. And I'm over this. I want them to merge the tag titles, because you need a strong division. And right now, even if you pull them together, I'm not sure you have one, but they need to get there. Usos have to win. I would like a stipulation on this just to keep it fresh. But either way, I hope it's over after this.
I mean, he's talk about Dominic getting to learn from people. He's had a dozen matches with just on the dark matches and live events, the Mysterios and Cena against the Bloodline. If you can't learn something doing that, oh boy. I mean, he is getting a crash course. But I think the Usos got to win this match. We have Nikki ASH against Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I could not be less interested in the stakes of this match, because last night they had Nikki get pinned, they had Rhea get pinned, and then they had Charlotte beating two women who had already wrestled 2 matches. Nobody gets over. I bet the match will be good. I bet it'll be really good, but yikes.
They don't know what they're doing in terms of this story. They haven't since Rhea got there. Rhea has lost all steam, personality, and momentum from her NXT run. She speaks like a robot now. Nikki is probably in the best position of her career, but it's still largely based in a gimmick that I don't think is suited for 10 p.m. on a Monday night. I'd like to see her move over to SmackDown in the draft. To do that, she needs to lose that title. And I've learned a long time ago, you never bet against the queen. So I'm going Charlotte Flair.
That's a safe bet, and it's a bet that I'll go with. And if Becky Lynch is to return, regardless of what brand, I think that somehow, even if it's on SmackDown, if it's on NXT, if Becky Lynch pops up on Lucha Underground, the most likely opponent for her is Charlotte Flair.
I'd agree.
Man. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm going with Charlotte as well. We have Bobby Lashley defending against Goldberg. Well, Goldberg's got one more match scheduled for this is his one more match scheduled for this year. But as we've seen in WWE's past, Robert, sometimes they just don't care. And they're like, well, you know what? We'll have him win the title in August and not defend it till January. That used to be a very normal thing, Robert. If you could believe that, which is wild for me to even think, but they used to go 3-4 months without defending that title.
Which is insane.
Do you think there's any possibility they do it again?
Yes. And here's why.
Oh, no.
Because I think Goldberg can drop it in Saudi.
Oh, okay. Like that extra payday?
Yeah. Collect the extra payday. Give the Saudi fans something worth it. But if Goldberg beats Lashley, what message are you sending? He spoke to Sports Illustrated yesterday and said, I need to put over the younger talent because I didn't give back to the industry when I should have, so I need to now. That says he should probably lose, but maybe he'll think, oh, it'll mean more if Lashley beats me for the belt somewhere down the line. We'll find out. I'm going to say Lashley.
That would be his idea of putting over younger talent, right? Well, I beat him and then he beats me back.
Yeah, I put him over. He won the belt for me. How much more prestigious can you get? By the way, last guy that did that didn't work out so well.
I think Lashley's going to win, but Dalian Prada says, any idea what the kickoff match is? I would be shocked if they added much more to this. There's already 10 matches, so I would say maybe Alexa, Eva, pardon me, got the hiccups right now. I think that might be it.
Lily, isn't it?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, probably. What do you think this will be? I'm not going to mute this.
Usos.
I got the hiccups.
Probably Usos, Mysterios. If they were going to add anything, my assumption would be it's Baron Corbin versus Big E, or at least Baron Corbin running away from Big E as he has the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yep. You know what? I like that. I think that's a solid one. Got to have an 11-match card, right?
Got to.
Roman Reigns, John Cena. Whew, I can't wait for this one. I mean, Roman Reigns is going to win this, but I just can't wait for it. Roman Reigns is winning. This is a big match moment. This is a big star moment. This is, to me, the third WrestleMania main event of this year. That's what this is to me.
Yeah. This should have been the main event of WrestleMania 5 years ago when they tried to get 100,000 people in AT&T Stadium. This version of Roman now is on fire. John Cena is in his first singles traditional match on a WWE pay-per-view since he fought Roman Reigns in 2017 at No Mercy. There's a lot of history here. I think Roman has to win, but I'm also like, they booked John for the Garden. Yeah. They could run it back real quick if they wanted to.
That's their, and you got to think about how they book. They do book like this. They do say, oh, well, give them a shock moment. And then, and if anybody's bulletproof, it is Roman, and it is him losing to John Cena, right? But I think that Roman Reigns, like, to solidify to all these people that are going to tune in to watch this, you show everybody, no, John Cena is not that anymore. Roman Reigns is that now.
See, the one thing I'm concerned about is they're booking John in this. All I have to do is hang in there for 1, 2, 3. John Cena's at a level where he should say, look, I'm going to walk in there and kick your ass because I'm John Cena and then leave and go to Hollywood and maybe come back if I feel like it. That's where I'm at. But he's saying he has to hang in there for 1, 2, 3. Maybe he gets it and Roman slaughters him in the Garden.
And also, I mean, gosh, I kind of lost my train of thought. But Roman Reigns, I think it is important that he wins, but we know how petty WWE is, and Flair did just leave.
Yeah, he can get that 17. Ric Flair, who? I think that's John Cena's record now.
Tremaine says, regarding the rumor that WWE wants to sell, do you think whatever company purchases WWE will be able to recover fan support? Not to the level they once had. I don't think there's much they can do at this point. I think that new competition over various avenues have arrived, and I think that a lot of the goodwill that they had built for a long time has eroded with some people that they didn't think it would erode with.
Yeah.
But we also have NXT TakeOver 36, speaking of goodwill eroding. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. I mean, this is, to me, foregone conclusion. Walter's going to win. To me, until a too good to be true option pops up, you go with Walter. And there's nothing that sets up a title match like having them come over on NXT and get pinned their first night over. Boy.
Okay, I am Mr. NXT UK on this website. I am probably the only person that watches that show.
I watch it, unfortunately. I watch it.
These two guys killed it in the fall time.
Yes.
I think they'll do it again. Dragunov should win, and if it was on UK soil, I think he would win.
Okay.
But since they brought it to America, I think Walter's going over. But who steps up next? Is it Harry Smith?
Yeah.
He's there. I mean, who steps up next to Walter? I just don't see anybody on that roster right now that can do it.
So when I think about who's going to beat Walter, who's going to beat Roman Reigns, people will ask me that a lot on our Q&A show, and I say they don't exist yet. To me, it's got to be somebody that's too good to be true. Kofi beating Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. That was an undeniable situation that you had to rock with. It has to be an undeniable situation. Bucephalus says, Impact is a stacked roster now, but after years of bad booking, do you think they can recover given their current open-door relationships? This is their best opportunity. I would have thought the same thing about Impact that I'm saying about WWE eroding that goodwill years and years ago. But I think enough time has went by and they've rebranded enough to where they can. It's unfortunate that just nobody can watch their damn show. It's hard to watch their show.
I wouldn't have taken their show off of Twitch. I think that was a bad move, but they survived the Pursuit channel. They survived Pop. I think they're good to go. I think they have enough goodwill. They have Christian Cage now, which I think is something worth being proud of.
Did I ever tell you the story about the Pursuit channel and one of my friends?
No.
So my friend was asking, it was a friend of my wife's best friend, and they're married, and we were chatting, and he's like, oh, tell me about your job. And I was like, yeah, I cover this wrestling show. It's on, and he was big into outdoors and hunting and all that stuff, and he produced his own show and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, this one wrestling show I cover, like, it's on the Pursuit Network. It's like on this channel. I was like, it's very weird. And I was like, honestly, I was like, you produce this show at your house, you could probably get that show on Pursuit. And he goes, dude, I am on Pursuit.
Nice. I mean, that was one of the weirdest moves. I don't know how they survived that, but they're rocking now. Bound for Glory is going to be big. They've already advertised AEW, AAA, New Japan. So Impact's looking good.
Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai. I think Dakota Kai's winning this.
Do you?
I do.
I think if Dakota Kai wins this, I don't usually put on my conspiracy theory hat, but I think it will be Shawn finally getting his WrestleMania 11 win over Diesel that he thinks he should have gotten back in '95. Because I don't see Raquel losing just yet, but you never know.
You know, that's a very good that's a very good inference there. That's a very good reference. I like that. I just think that they'll go with that and then they'll run it back because that's what they do. That's what they do, right? I mean, come on. Roderick Strong's going to win the Cruiserweight title in next week's NXT, and his first opponent is going to be Kushida.
Absolutely.
That's what they're going to do. That's what they love to do. They can't just do some shit and then move on and then have somebody build themselves back up. And with this, quite honestly, I don't know who off the top of your head do they have built for Raquel?
Nobody. They got
a great roster, but they don't have anybody built.
they had Zaya and they ran through that. They have, a tag team division that they need to build. They have maybe Ember, but you've run through that. They're out of options and they ran through them quick.
Yeah. And as we reported on Fightful Select yesterday, she wasn't clear this week. She had some dental surgery done. So that being Ember. $1 million championship. If Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase becomes Knight's butler. We have LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. This is the moment, I think, where Cameron Grimes wins. But I could not have been more wrong about this. I could not have been more wrong about LA Knight winning. Cameron Grimes being his butler has been entertaining to me. I really enjoy it. It's been harmless stuff. It's added some humor to this show. That and the Johnny Gargano, Dexter Lumis stuff has added some real light to this show, and I think that it needs it sometimes because to me, this show gets a little bit monotonous and repetitive, but I think Cameron Grimes wins this. If he doesn't, you know what? I'm down for some more vignettes.
I am too. I think this will be the full circle. Grimes wins and then tells Ted, thank you for your blessing. I don't need this. I'm going to go win the NXT title or the NXT North American title because I can't imagine that they keep the $1 million championship in circulation for too long.
That's what they do. They bring it back for like a few months every time.
They don't really, what can you really do with it outside of Ted? And this has allowed Ted to, give back. He's kind of getting his redeeming, more post-$1 million man persona on TV. So it's been fun for everybody, but I think Grimes has to win and then move on to a real championship.
Hear me out. Here's what I want to happen. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm such a stickler for the brand split. After Cameron Grimes wins on NXT next week, I want him to be ready to retire it. And then Baron Corbin comes out. Baron Corbin challenges him for it. And whether Baron Corbin wins it or he loses, I mean, that's an easy one. That's a very easy one to do right there.
I think you should do it. At the very least, get Baron in there with $1 million title just because he is the best thing in wrestling, according to the New Day. And it's been a lot of fun to watch.
It has been. I think he's doing really, really good. 2 out of 3 falls. The first fall is a wrestling match. Second fall is a street fight. Third fall is a steel cage match. It is Adam Cole. It is Kyle O'Reilly. Adam Cole does not have a contract as the last time I checked, or at least has a short-term extension. Holy cow. So here's the conundrum, Robert. You got Adam Cole, widely known as one of the nicest guys in the wrestling business. Do you beat him? Because if he leaves the whole promotion, ideally you want to beat the guy. Mm-hmm. If he's heading to Raw or SmackDown, do you really want to say, hey, we're going to beat you on your way up here? Because as we've seen, that doesn't always yield great results. There are so many moving parts to this, Robert.
Yeah. This is, without a doubt, the most fun story going into TakeOver. Adam Cole has the option of going basically anywhere he wants. I do think he leaves NXT come hell or high water after this match. And I think because of that, you have to beat him. But now it becomes, do you see him on Raw? Do you see him on SmackDown? Or do you just see him playing with his friends over in AEW?
Yes.
And that, to me, is the more intriguing story. But these two guys will kill it. I think the third fall is going to be that cage with the weapons. They haven't specifically said it, but that has to be what it is. It should be one of the best matches of the weekend. I think Kyle has to win. I think, I'll say it now, I'm going to play it safe. Adam Cole goes to SmackDown and wins the Intercontinental Championship from Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that'd be a good idea for them, but if I were him, I'm working in a no-cut clause, and I'm working in reasonable creative control. and by that, I mean, let me put in my deal that over the course of 2 months, I can't face anybody more than 3 times. That like, just make yourself exempt from all that shit that is on the screen right there, because then at least you are known as the best thing on a mid show at the very least. I mean, look, it's working out for Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about how great he is. Well, we will have full coverage, guys. Man,
Joe and Cross.
Joe and Cross. Holy crap! I completely forgot about that. I was about to end this show not talking about Joe and Cross.
Samoa Joe is coming back.
He's winning.
Professional wrestling. He's winning. He needs to win. But Joe is gonna kick some ass, and I'm so glad he can wrestle again.
Holy crap! I completely forgot. That's how inconsequential that is to me. Them calling up the NXT champion made me less interested in this match. Less interested.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Never happened. And Cross is better than that, but they're trying to send a weird message right now. Yes. I just hope that Joe gets the belt and resurrects it and resurrects the brand, and they can still do a lot of good with NXT. It doesn't have to be surrounded in this haze and all these releases and reports, but they have to get there first. And the first place you get there is you take it off the weird mid-card guy on Raw that nobody can get a handle on. And that's what Karrion Kross is now.
Yep. Rob Wilkins says, happy belated birthday. Do you think Gable Stevenson signs in Vegas? I don't think that they'll, you know what? Maybe they will do something like that where they make like a big deal out of it. They invited media to the tryouts on Thursday. I'm not going, but they did invite media to the tryouts. But DeFelice says, do you think Adam wants to give over $1 million in Twitch money on top of his downside? No, and he won't. He will not. He will not. Everybody's really getting a kick out of the Elias is dead thing. But guys, we will be here all weekend. I'll be in Vegas getting coverage, getting some news, getting some scoop skis. I greatly appreciate you guys. Please leave a thumbs up if you're watching this. Robert, tell the people where they can find you.
Find me on all social media platforms at DudeFelice. Find me every day on Fightful.com. Find me all weekend. It's a big one. I'll be here. I'll be writing up the news, and let's have some fun.
Until next time, guys, we're out.